Okay, so I got the wiring all laid out. I got everything connected that should take care of getting the thing up and running. I already did a little primer to try to make sure it would start. So I'm just going to set the camera down so you can see this thing truly fire up and actually use the throttle for the first time. Haven't really tested the throttle yet, but we'll find out here in a second. So as you can see, there's a huge mess of wires that's kind of just testing everything out to make sure everything was going to work. She's alive. So next up, I'm gonna de-pin everything that's not needed in the harness, get it all wrapped up, get it where the ECU's got to be placed, which is going to be inside the car. Okay, so here's what's left of the harness. I basically de-pinned pretty much everything that wasn't needed in the harness, and this will be the side of the ECU that goes into the vehicle. So here's kind of what's left. It still looks like a mess right now, but I'm not finished. I just wanted to get some video before I actually put it back in the car for the last time. So I'm going to bundle everything up and start running the wires through the firewall that are needed and get her fired up. The Caddy's all finished. We're ready to put it on the dyno. Clayton's going to B-roll some of the shots from underneath the car, from the fuel pump setup that we did. I put a Walbro 255 in it because the old pump was gone when the engine got switched to a diesel. It has a full 2.5-inch Tectonic exhaust on it. Fits really good. As you can see from the B-roll that Clayton took, there's tons of room in behind the engine. Not so much in the front. That's typical for the old VRs. I mean, everything for the Eurowise kit fits really well. There was no major surprises. I mean, it's typical aftermarket stuff, so sometimes there's a little bit of things that need to be modified a little bit or tweaked a little bit, but it's all pretty minor. This thing is getting painted, I believe, when it leaves here. It's going kind of backwards, but it just kind of worked out how the motor swap was going to work. He does have a nice set of BBSs. I think they're RSs, maybe RMs, that are always on this thing anyway, so I'm not worried about setting the height of the coilovers or anything like that yet because he's got other wheels to put on it. So now let's get it on the dyno and see what it can do. Okay, it's time to dyno this old girl. So I'm just gonna log it while we do it, just to make sure temperature and voltage and all that stuff's good. We did have a few things, just like with any swap like this, that we had to get through. A couple of hurdles. Alternator was bad, that was on the engine. The wiring for the coolant fans, just silly things that needed to get done before we could put it on the dyno. But now we're ready to go. Clayton, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. I gotta get my earmuffs on. She sounds pretty nasty. So, I was really hoping for 220 horsepower.
You got it.
221. 210 torque. So we'll do one more just to back it up, and we'll be done with this whole girl. 2 to make it true. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. So just getting set up the log. We're gonna do one more pull. All right, so we're logging, we're ready to go. Car's running. Let's do it. Even better. 227 and 214 torque, which is a killer setup for this car. I'm going to shut this down so that I'm not yelling at you. Just so guys, especially local guys, know, Clayton and I run his Mark 1. He'll probably put a little clip in here. We've run that car for the last 5 or 6 years. At basically this horsepower, 220 I believe is what we had it on when we put it on the dyno last time. Last season we cranked the power up quite a bit on it, but 220 horsepower, almost 230 horsepower in this thing is just going to be a weapon on the street. So it's obviously sounds like that, but it's going to perform just like it sounds. So it's going to be a killer setup for sure. So Clayton will overlay this as I talk. On the diesel, we did a max of 80 wheel horsepower, and we've almost tripled it. We got 227 as our high on this one. So as I mentioned, it's going to be a beast on the street.
Well, it's funny because we were kind of surprised by the 80 horsepower from the diesel, and
yeah,
in reality, we should have been very disappointed.
So you said 70, eh? You think 70?
No, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt.
I just said 59, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what it does.
And there it is.
79.66. That's impressive.
Pretty much 80 horsepower.
Yeah. Crazy. Never would have expected that. We'll get better open the door.
I mean, it's good for a diesel, but I imagine almost 3 times the horsepower is going to be.
It's not even going to be any bit the same. The way the torque comes on, 214 torque. And I was really just in the back of my head, I was hoping to see about 220 horsepower to be conservative on 91 octane. So to see 227, we've exceeded my expectations. So
yeah, the really good thing too is like we barely had this thing running. Like obviously we took it up to temperature and stuff, but we haven't driven it around at all. Nothing. It still needs an alignment because the coilover is going to be sitting lower, and he's going to have his better wheels on it and stuff. So there's still a bunch of stuff that needs to happen before this is considered out on the road and ready to drive. But we've done our part. This is kind of the end of this mini series. It was the first 3 parts. I'll add a little card up above, and if you have any questions or comments, be sure to ask them below. Clayton, you have anything else to add to this thing? Like and subscribe.
Did I already say that?
No, I don't think.
Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. That's it?
That's it.
Okay. I thought you were going to say something, so.
We're good. When are you on?
We're good when I am?
Yeah.
I'm good. Those are our M's.
I don't know.
Did you tell by quickly looking? The squeakiness?
Yeah.